what could Trump do or announce reasonably that would get Putin's attention and change the dynamic here?
So there's a lot of things he could do, Leland. He could give Lindsey Graham the green light to put the Senate bill that Lindsey Graham has crafted that is quite tough on Russia, and that would cruise through the Senate and get House approval very quickly. So that's one option. He could also put all kinds of weapons packages in place. He's talking about giving the Ukrainians a new Patriot system. We've given the Ukrainians 3 Patriot systems, and as you see from this increasing number of drones and rockets on civilian targets in Ukraine, the Ukrainians really need more air defense.
Do you read this the same way I do? Lindsey Graham, to your point, saying President Trump is spot on about the games Putin is playing. The Senate will move soon on a tough sanctions bill, not only against Russia, but also against countries like China and India that buy Russian energy products that finance Putin's war machine. Do you read this the same I do, that these increased attacks by Putin show that he is, I don't want to say scared, but certainly realizes post the Iran strike that Trump's demeanor towards him has changed?
Right. I think he's sick and tired of it, Leland. He gave Putin 6 months. He made a real effort at these negotiations, and he sees that he's getting played. So the nice thing about Trump is that he's not ideological, and he can switch on a dime. And I think that people in his administration are showing him images, and these images do bother him. We saw tonight that a maternity hospital in Kharkiv, the city in northeastern Ukraine, was hit, and Trump's already speaking out about it. So I think it's been gradual, but he's also seen he's tried very hard, and he's got nothing out of it. So he has to show some progress on this, and he's gonna tack right.
This is Trump's phone interview with Kristen Welker of NBC. Take a listen.
The president said he's disappointed in Russia and told us he thinks he'll have a major statement to make about Russia on Monday. The president also said he just made a deal today with NATO in which he says the U.S. will send weapons to Ukraine through NATO, and NATO is, quote, paying for those weapons 100%.
Well, we pay for a lot of NATO, so understandable, better if we don't pay the whole bill. But I think the point here is Joe Biden, Barack Obama, George W. Bush all got played in one way or another by Putin, in part because Putin was willing to raise the stakes higher than any of those U.S. presidents were willing to. Do you see anything in Trump's toolbox right now that says he's willing to raise the stakes to a point that would get Putin to cave?
I think it's a bit unclear, but there's a new article that's really interesting, Leland, at the Carnegie Endowment. It's written by Andrei Zagornyuk, the former defense minister, and he's basically making a case that there is a way for Ukraine to be victorious. The United States needs to make sure that Ukraine has enough weapons until the Europeans and all of the provisions that they've made can fall into place, and there's going to be a bit of a lag. So I think now the pressure is on Trump to make sure that the weapons delivery continue. But I think that this has gotten to be personal for Trump. Yeah. He put his neck on the line, and he realizes that he can't lose face. I think this is really what this issue has come down to.
Yeah, look, we wrote in War Notes, that's our newsletter every day, that the one thing Trump will not tolerate is feel like he's being played. I think the Iranians realize that. They sort of have the same rope-a-dope strategy that that Putin has put out. Look, we've said it before, say it again, that Putin is about as evil as you get. He's a sociopath. That's what the KGB selects for, and he hasn't changed the way he acts. This is Democrats talking about Trump on Ukraine. Take a listen.
It's unfortunate that the Trump administration has spent months playing footsie with Vladimir Putin.
Trump is not doing this because it's the right thing to do. He's doing it because he feels insulted by Putin.
His moves are either idiotic or clearly designed to abandon Ukraine in favor of Putin.
Basically, he wants Ukraine to cave. That's the only thing that I can tell.
You could have said that about 4 years worth of Joe Biden, in my opinion, but all of those things. At some point, what does Trump have to do in your mind? I think maybe he already has, but to where the Democratic knock on him will become objectively untrue in terms of how he goes about dealing with Vladimir Putin?
Leland, I think he's about to cross that line. If he puts the sanctions bill into place, and if he's able to secure another Patriot system and keep the weapons coming that Biden put in place, and keep that intelligence support coming, and do something about Russia's frozen assets, $300 billion, that would be a lot. I think that would undermine the Democratic narrative. I don't know that the Democrats that you've just showed are wrong, but I think that the results matter. So Trump has had a sea change. We can have a long conversation about why and what it's motivated by. But the fact is, there's been a major change that's underway.
Fair to say, yeah. And look, fair to say, Joe Biden never put any of the sanctions that really mattered on Russia in any way, shape, or form, and never gave the Ukrainians all the weapons they were asking for. We got to run, Melinda. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.